Hi and welcome to the Joy of Pastels studio. My name is Sabine and in today's video I will show you how to draw this beautiful November landscape scene. I will show you how to blend pastel sticks and pastel pencils to create a foggy background, how to blend and make these bushes behind the fog and make them blurry, and how to bring in nice reflections into the water. This is fun. How to add then these overlapping darker trees in the foreground and add some brown autumn leaves. If you would like to see more landscape lessons, write me below in the comments if that is something for you, or do you have any other ideas? I would love to hear your thoughts. And now let's dive in. Okay, let's start with a black pastel pencil and sketch in a little bit the river banks and where the bushes and trees should be. You can create your own landscape how you would like it. I sketch in a bit of a tree that I would like to draw in the foreground here that is overlapping the water. And I sketch in some trees here on the left that are more behind. Then let's start. Let's plot in a gray for the sky here and the fog, and mix in also a bit yellow. I like to mix different colors here into the sky. Use light blue. I use here the Caputhellos from Stabilo. You find the links to the products below in the description if you're interested in. Here I add the Rembrandt soft pastel stick in turquoise and white, and I add a bit of blue here on the left and mix in soft pastel sticks in black. I don't have a Rembrandt that is dark blue, so I mix the black with some dark blue pastel pigment from the pencils from the Stabilo Caputhellos. And mix the layers together. You can easily mix the pastel pigments directly on the paper. Here I blend the layers together with that soft blending tool. You maybe know them from painting with pen pastels. They are so little sponges. They work really well to blend here the pigments together and create a very soft look. I like to use them for backgrounds. When you're drawing landscapes, it is good when there is a bit more pigment on the paper, and pastel matte paper from Clairefontaine, that's the paper I'm using here, allows different layers, many layers, and that's the fun thing. You can add layers and mix the colors together, create a blurry foggy look. So here I add a bit more of a warm gray. Sometimes the layers we have applied are not covering the background paper enough, then just add another layer. I like also to bring in some mint colors here, a bit of turquoise and green, and then I start plotting in a layer for some trees that are very far away. So some trees that are in the background behind the fog. And always blend over it with the blending tool. They are blurry and very far away. These trees on the left side here are a bit more in front of us. They are overlapping the back trees and they are a little bit darker. When you're drawing landscapes, always the subjects far away are lighter, most also a bit bluish, and for example trees that are more nearer to you are darker. Here I mix greens and blues for these blurry bushes that are a little bit in the fog. And then I also add brown here below near the river banks and blend the colors together with the soft tool, with this little sponge. It is working really well. You can also try cotton swabs or other sponges you have. Here I bring in a little bit of brown, where we have then these more detailed bushes and trees there. If the trees are too dark, you can brighten them up with white. You can always mix in a bit of white, and sometimes I use also the finger for blending. That works well to create a soft look. Here I go over with a yellow. I would like to make that a sky, that blurry, foggy sky, a little bit more yellowish. The sun is shining through a little bit, but there is a lot of fog. I would like to bring in also the yellow a bit. Bring in different colors to create an amazing atmosphere. Then I add a bit of a warm gray here for the sand. Here on the lower part, and then I add fine tree trunks and little branches, very thin lines in that case because that is very far away. So draw thin lines for bushes and trees that you don't see really well, that are more far away from you, and they are also here a bit in the fog. I add some lines that are crossing here, going to the left, to the right, just crossing and go in different directions, and draw that very dense area here near the ground where the shadow is. There I bring in black and add a bit highlight, so the light that is shining through the branches with a light blue. Bringing in some little blue strokes here, and then I use a light gray for brightening up then the whole area, and use it for creating fog. I want to have more little branches. Let's just add another layer of black little strokes and lines to make that tree here more dense. And then I use a cotton swab for blending and make that really soft, and I use a light gray for brightening up the part and blending that tree and make it so a bit blurry to create that fog. Just draw over it. If you don't have oversaturated the paper, it works really well to use also a pastel stick and blend over it and create that foggy look. So fog is over the trees here, and they are not so sharp and not so detailed. I bring in here some very thin transparent lines. Also some tree trunks are visible here, and blend it that it's also blurry and a bit softer far away. And then we come to adding more detailed trees here in the middle area. Behind the water here, we have here grass. And I draw that with black because it's autumn. No green grass is left. Only we have brown grass here. And to add here really a nice contrast, I use the black for the trees. It is foggy, they are not, there is no sun shining on them, so they appear very, very black. And draw some thicker tree trunks and then some fine branches in all directions here. Make sure that the ends of these branches are very, very fine, that you reduce the pressure and use more pressure for the tree trunks and the beginnings of the branches. So this is really fun to draw then some trees without leaves in front of our more far away foggy trees. Let them overlap and cross. You create a nice dimension with that you let now the more sharp trees overlap. And then I bring in brown and orange colored autumn leaves here on the trees, and add a little dots with an orange brown or also a red brown. The Caputhellos have really beautiful colors in their range. They are softer, but for adding these leaves, they are really nice. So I don't like them so much for animal portraits where you have to draw many details in fur, for example. But for the landscapes, they are so nice to use. They have brilliant, beautiful colors, and so nice oranges and yellows for these autumn leaves, and they are a bit softer, so you can work with them really well. They are more opaque, and you can blend them in landscapes really well. So you find a link below in the description too to all the material I'm using. I add then also some black little dots and more grasses and darken down the shadow area near the riverbank. Here adding some more fine little dots and shadows. You know I love to draw details. You don't have to overdo it, but some details in that landscape really are beautiful. You can make it also very simple. There are so many ways to create beautiful landscape, and you also have to figure out what works for you and create then your own drawing style. I like to go into details, but this should be a more fast lesson. I have needed about 1.5 hours for this drawing. It is size 15 to 15 centimeters. I have used a sand colored pastel matte paper for that, and it is so fun to bring that nature scene to life. Write me below in the comments if you would like to see more of that. I think I will create more of that because I'm really happy how they are coming here to life, and it's a nice alternative to drawing a realistic animal portrait. Sometimes that is just fun and something different. So I really have enjoyed to draw this landscape too. Do it for yourself. Draw it for yourself. Make it fun and easy. You will see what you can create with your hands, what beautiful artwork you can create. You can use prints, make prints or gift cards, greeting cards, make a collection of your landscape portraits, sell them. I add here a bit more mint and other blue tones on the water here, and now it comes to the reflections. You know, there are always the reflections in water. Here you see how the magic of water happens. You bring in reflections that are going the opposite direction of the trees above, so draw them downwards, not so detailed like out of the water, but also bring in some details and the same colors in the water area. Draw the reflections, bring in some oranges and blacks, then all the colors we also have above outside the water, and then use a paper stamp and blend horizontally, so from the left to the right. Blend over it and make it a bit blurry with very little pressure. I also pick up a bit of the pigment of the tree trunk and add some darker shadow waves in the water. Add some darker strokes. And then go in with a white, it's the Carpotello white here, and add some little waves with water foam on top. And this then really creates that stunning look of water. Add some waves. I also use a bit here with the white Rembrandt soft pastel stick. I want to brighten up the middle part of that river a bit more, and so I plot in a little bit of white. You always can mix in different colors in your landscapes and make the water here glossy and smooth, but also add some small little waves to make it look like water. This is also fun how you then see that a blurry area becomes and then water. Blending over here the river banks a little bit. Okay, then I start drawing here below a little bit of brown for the earth, plotting in a little bit of red brown here below near the river banks. We will add then here some autumn leaves, so the orange brown autumn leaves are falling down. There are not many leaves left on the trees. I will draw then some of them that look so really like November before the snow then is coming. Here let's also draw some bushes or these longer loose branches here, and add the roots of the tree that are going into the water, and a little small tree here below, and some branches that are here crossing, so a little a bit more wood. Some branches and wood is also laying on the ground here. So these branches that are falling down and broken by the wind are here down on the ground. Let's also draw them in, and now that is really fun. Draw some little so small single leaves on the tree, let them overlap. That makes your drawing then a little bit more interesting too. If you add some so little autumn leaves that are left on the trees, add also highlights on them. Always also use more different colors. You don't have to do that very in detail, but some dark, some shadows, a mid-tone and a highlight is always necessary. Otherwise it just looks flat. So to bring in a bit of a kind dimension and three-dimensional part into your drawing, even though it's not so realistically. Bring shadow below the leaves, and also here in front where no light hits the tree trunk, add a bit more black. Here I plot in the brown to make the area here on the ground between the leaves a bit darker. I use here the blending tool, the paper stamp for blending, and then I go again in with a bit more black, add shadow in the sand here near the river, near the water, and add some autumn leaves. In November they are brown and orange, not so colorful anymore. Important is that you bring in always darks, always shadows below the little leaves, so that you create that contrast. Here I add also a bit brown, some more brown bushes behind. Use the different brown tones, orange tones, red tones out of the capitellos. They are amazing. And add some highlights on the wooden parts here below. So always add with a lighter color highlights. I also add some highlights on the leaves and some more orange browns. Use different orange browns and red browns for the autumn leaves here below. Bring in some darks again. And so refine a bit of the leaves. So bring in shadows between them and add more colors. Blend them and add again more highlights with a light yellow, just to make all of the leaves a bit more, just give the portrait a bit more depth. Some dots here and there for sand, or find light reflections on all the leaves and the grass. Let's also add a lighter orange brown. The more colors you bring in, the better your final painting result will be. So add some leaves here below and create a bit more fine details. Let's add here another small empty tree here with some branches and stems. Just add some more fun details finally. That's so nice here and there where you like. Let a tree overlap, or add some more leaves, how you would like to have your end. Add a bit more black here on the tree trunk on the right. Yes, and then sign it, and the November landscape is finished. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed watching and drawing this November landscape. Write me below in the comments if you would like to see more landscape lessons and videos about how to paint landscapes or nature scenes or flowers with pastels, or also some fun topics like seasonal themes like Christmas, Halloween and so on. Tell me below in the comments what you're thinking about that. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and then also check out my other channels. There is a lot of stuff for you there. Then enjoy drawing and painting with pastels. It is so much fun, and then I hope I see you soon. Bye. Wish you all the best.